Thank you for having me today. I'm so honored to be here, especially with these other fine gentlemen who are thought leaders. So we're going to have a great conversation. And as far as the transformation has gone inside of my business, it's all been about getting in front of our clients with Zoom and using virtual meetings. I think that's true for a lot of people these days, but the way that I was running my business is that I was seeing all my clients face to face, and some of my clients live out of state. So I would travel sometimes to see them. So this has really cut down on hundreds of hours on travel time for me. And as far as the transformation goes, I really started implementing a retirement income planning software that takes someone after we receive all their information, and it shows them within about 15 or 20 minutes. We're going through a discussion, but it shows them when their money could run out. So from a technology standpoint, it's really powerful to show someone like what they're actually doing right now and the small adjustments that they may need to make in order to, retire as you desire, as we say in my business. So, from our new technology that we started implementing along with using Zoom, it's just saved hours of time. And my team implemented all of this. I had nothing to do with it because I could, barely use my computer some days. So, really utilizing the strengths of our teams, that's so important. It's been a big game changer for my business. Perspective, just like Ed said, like I'm saving a lot of windshield time and a lot of time traveling. But from a technology standpoint, going back to the software that we're using, it really allows us to do a very personalized plan at this point where people could physically see the changes that are, potentially needed to be made. I think that goes along with planning, because in 2 years from now, we could have a different political outlook, different taxes. 4 years from now, we're going to have another election. It's going to happen every 4 years, but it goes back to using technology and utilizing its powers to help you plan better. And that's what we've been doing this year. As soon as the pandemic hit, we immediately changed from an in-person to a Zoom model. And that's not going to change for my business. Like, I don't foresee us going back to an in-person model. It's not because I'm worried about COVID or something like that. It's just from an efficiency standpoint, from a productivity standpoint. And let's face it, my clients, they're really comfortable being on the computer. So, but going back to your question, it helps from a planning standpoint, and that's what we're utilizing right now. And I really think things are only going to improve moving forward because of technology. And technology is something that we need to embrace regardless. Moving forward, I think we all know that it's going to be a part of our lives, whether we like that or not. And going back to your question, Charlie, about, to train people because of it, ultimately, I think it comes down to that employee's mindset and the employer's ability to make it simple for the employee. So as a business owner, if you're able to make the process simple for your team members, I think that would be a huge help for your employees to embrace technology, especially if they've never really used it before or they're not really sophisticated with it. So if you have someone in the workforce who may be in their later years in the workforce, they may not want to embrace technology. So maybe you could either retrain them to another field or another part of the company. There's a lot of moving parts with that, but it definitely comes down to your mindset as a business owner and the employee. And, the second part of your question, as a business owner, we need to really figure out, should we be creating technology to keep up with, the Starbucks of the world or these big companies of the world? Or do we really need to embrace the ones that already exist and create like a technology team on your staff to figure out which are the right pieces for you? Because we're all different. All of our businesses are different. But I think we could all agree on that Zoom is a wonderful thing, or Microsoft Teams is a wonderful thing, or these different streaming platforms. It's pretty amazing because they're easy to use. Technology is simple, easy to use, whether that's training an employee, retraining an organization. It can happen, and it's going to have to, but you have to have the mindset for change and be willing to embrace that. That's how I think businesses will get ahead.
Okay.